Okay, so imagine this. You get back from the mailbox, right? And you've got like a stack of mail. And one piece is huge GE practically swallowing up all the other envelopes. I mean, you can't help but look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a mini billboard in your mailbox. So that's what we're diving into today, this whole idea of jumbo postcard marketing.
Interesting.
We've got a bunch of research on this, but a lot of it's focused on this company called Not Vanilla Media and how they're using these oversized postcards to help local businesses, really stand out.
I'm interested to hear this because honestly, when I think of postcard marketing, I kind of think like old school, is that really effective in today's world with everything being so digital?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But when you think about it, it's kind of brilliant because, like you said, everything's online these days, right?
Yeah.
So when you get something physical in the mail, something that actually takes up space, it's kind of like, whoa, what's this?
Yeah, that's true.
It makes you stop and pay attention. And I think that's the first win for jumbo postcards.
And I think what's interesting too is that it's not just about that initial attention grabber. It's like that jumbo postcard doesn't just disappear after you've seen it in the mailbox. It often ends up on the kitchen counter under a magnet on the fridge. You see it again and again.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And marketers actually have a term for this. They call it dwell time.
Dwell time.
Yeah, dwell time is basically the amount of time someone spends looking at an ad. And the longer someone looks at your message, the more likely they are to remember it and, potentially even make a purchase down the line.
So it's not just about that initial wow factor in the mailbox. It's about creating like a lasting impression.
Exactly.
That's really interesting. But okay, how does this whole thing work with local businesses? Because I remember in the research, they were talking about using a co-op model or something.
Yeah. So with Not Vanilla Media, they focus specifically on local businesses, right? And one thing they emphasize that these postcards, they really tap into a sense of community.
Community.
Think about it. People are naturally curious about what's happening in their neighborhood, right?
Right.
So when they see this big, bold ad for a local bakery or a new bookstore, whatever it might be, it piques their interest. It's kind of like getting a little update on what's going on around them.
Yeah, it's like hyper-local advertising. I get it.
And that co-op model you mentioned, that's a big part of how they make this affordable for smaller businesses.
Oh, how does that work?
So basically, they'll put 16 non-competing businesses on a single postcard. It's kind of like those old school business directories you used to see, but supersized.
Okay, interesting.
And this way, all these businesses, they share the cost of printing and mailing, which makes it way more affordable than if they each tried to do a solo mailing.
Yeah.
Plus, it means that each business is potentially getting their ads seen by a much wider audience.
Right. Someone might pick up the postcard because they're interested in the dog groomer, and then they see an ad for a new pizza place they've never heard of. So it's like a win-win for everyone involved. The businesses get affordable advertising and wider reach, and the people in the community get this handy guide to local businesses.
Yeah.
It's clever.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because they're really leaning into that kind of old school vibe, even though we're in the super digital world. Like, Vanilla Media talks about how people are actually craving something tangible, something they can hold in their hands,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's just a different feel to it. There's an authenticity and nostalgia that you don't get from an online banner ad.
Yeah, totally. Remember that big postcard we got for the farmer's market a while back? It stayed on our fridge for like months.
Exactly. And that's what Not Vanilla Media is going for. They handle everything, the design, the printing, the mailing, the whole 9 yards. They make it as simple as possible for those local businesses to just, jump on board.
So to recap, it sounds like this jumbo postcard strategy. It's not just about size. It's about leveraging that size to make a big impression and tapping into that community curiosity. Mm-hmm. And it's a really clever way to offer affordable marketing to local businesses who might not have huge budgets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's making me wonder, actually, in this world that's dominated by, online ads and algorithms, could this old school approach actually be more effective for some businesses?
That's a really good question. Especially for local businesses trying to reach people right in the neighborhoods. It makes you think. What do you think? Could this work where you live?
Well, I think it's at least worth considering.
Root for thought, for sure.
Meh.
Thanks for diving into this with me.
Of course. This was fun.
Until next time, everybody.
See ya.